All right, folks, welcome to another Throwback Tuesday. Yes, it's the first Throwback Tuesday. It used to be Thursdays. We're doing them on Tuesday because Thursday was disrupting my flow. It was easier to reflect on these movies and then give them to you on Tuesday before I kind of get back at some of the impromptu stuff that I can do. And Saving Private Ryan is a film that I actually rewatch every year and usually an extra time. But this year, Memorial Day got all kind of I had the little grandkids. I couldn't watch it on Memorial Day, and I didn't get. I got off sync of when I could do this video and at least talk about this film because it is to me um, my favorite war movie, military movie, and it's. I have no shame of admitting that I cried in the theater during the storming of the beach. All of my family, because I come from a family where there were several brothers on like my maternal grandmother's side and on the paternal grandfather's side, and yet only one from each side came back. Everyone else was lost in that war in some way, shape, or form. And I remember anytime the families would get together, there would be references to how Uncle Leo had passed or so and so, and it would be, this is what happened in the Philippines, and this is what happened. And it's like I mean, I was little, probably shouldn't have been hearing some of the stories. And to watch a movie like this, it made me feel at least a part of those stories in a different way. And I know there are other movies that were probably maybe more intense or more graphic. There were things that came before it, but it was that movie that did it for me. And I still sort of have that moment where I go back there, I relive it, I feel the same way. A lot of times I will watch it and have to pause and kind of take an emotional break from it. And I know this sound, um, and this is before we get to the story. This is what happened kind of moment of the movie. And there's so many things in it that I could probably point to. And I know because it's graphic, people want to hang their hat on that, but I think it's just more than that. And I don't even know that I have words that can describe how much I appreciate and feel for what was accomplished in that film. And then the idea that you have more than one story of the brothers, right? It's fictional in the sense of it's a fictional story, but it's not fictional in that there's at least, I know I've read two different accounts of multiple brothers and them trying to at least get one of the brothers home or something like that. There's one that's more connected to the movie than the other. Uh, but again, the cast is just incredible. I mean, you can go so deep into what they were able to accomplish with, Tom Hanks and Matt Damon and Tom Sizemore, and then you get into the other characters like Vin Diesel and Barry Pepper, and you're like, my goodness, the list just keeps going of who's amazing in this film, and I don't know what to say. It's my favorite war movie of all time. I find it that rewatchable. I could probably nitpick maybe the lack of some story arcs or something, maybe, but it's like everything is very well buttoned up. It won awards, rightfully so. It got the acclaim, rightfully so. It accomplished things that maybe they had been done. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on some of these war movies, but I think we're in a great era of war movies. I think the last since Private Ryan, and maybe really even since probably the Iraq war campaign, there's been some great war movies, and not all about that type of era. I mean, Bridge of Spies is a World War II movie. There's been other movies, Civil War movie. There's been other stuff that's been done. Um, yeah, love it a lot. Let me just get into the trailer at least a little bit. Um,
However, there are some personal details that I
Believe
felt
very strongly.
I love the fact that with the trailer they gave us kind of a dose of what we're going to experience with the story, but we didn't really know kind of what we were getting ourselves into with the trailer.
This one in Omaha Beach.
You get some different moments, and you don't totally understand what's coming and what's going to come.
Particular soldier in the whole damn war.
It's probably not the best trailer. There's probably better trailers. I don't understand why this was the one that I picked, because it's more like a cast promotional thing, and there's like the walking scenes and things like that. But the film is riddled with these moments of these beautiful cinematic shots with lighting changes, capturing different moments. This one, of course, was Solitude, him in the shadow. I went past it, but it was the shot of them walking, the shot with the helplessness of, here, you have a better chance of saving my kid than I do thing. And Vin Diesel's character, the ignorant soldier taking the kid. Like, what are you gonna do with some kid? He just carry a kid around to a military campaign. The image of them walking over the hillside. You have these incredible images that manifest in this film. I mean, just the hopelessness, and the scene when they're coming on the beach and they have to go over the side, and then the weight of, pushing them down in the water. And then, of course, there's bodies everywhere and there's just chaos. The airstrike didn't come through, obviously. I'd say there's so much here that, we could spend hours. You talk about a film that needs an EFAP in every frame of pause. It's just there's so much there that we can do. And again, just going to go through the names. Edward Burns. There's Tom. Oh yeah, the shot of the eyes. Just this iconic stuff that has been sort of like burned into our culture and our history. And this film is part of it. And yeah, it's an every year thing for me. I didn't get to this tribute timely enough for Memorial Day, but I don't know, guys. If you have, first off, if you've never seen this, I don't even know how to recommend it enough. This is in that conversation of best of all time for me. This is in that conversation of, let's say we go top 20 for sure. Okay. I don't know how we would exclude it. It's difficult because anytime you want to put something on the list, you feel like you're nudging something equal, out. But how do you would have to argue, like, what is the best in each sort of genre category? And let's say you start listing out a couple. How does this not be in the top 3, or let's go 5? How could it be beyond the top 5 war movies of all time? So if we nominate the best in different categories into this pool of what is great of all time, it has to be in that conversation. It has to be in that top tier of things and what they're able to accomplish. And I know that it doesn't hold sort of the same CGI technological advances as some other things that we do, even Spielberg, even what he accomplished with like Jurassic Park. But it does do that for the war movie with the way he used sounds, the way he filmed in the muck, and that he transcended some of that in a way that really hadn't been done. And maybe it has, but not within the scope of the 10, 15 years that preceded it on this kind of scale. Maybe Apocalypse Now would be the one that comes to mind that had preceded this one, the most recent one that preceded it. Platoon had kind of gotten into it, but it's a different type of story. Born on the 4th of July as well. They're different stories. Those stories tend to be very Oliver Stone is very, he was very dark with the portrayal of the soldier and the PTSD side of it, the dark side of it, and things like that. Whereas Spielberg was going for capturing the horror of the war, but with a human side, a human stories that were happening within that campaign, and giving you a push on what their story and how it would change from the beginning to the end. And I think he accomplished it greatly. So that's my take on it. Thanks for watching, hanging out with me. I am Pops, and it's great for doing some throwback Tuesday shows with you. It'll take me a little bit of getting used to just to say Tuesday instead of Thursday, but yes, throwback. Let's do it, baby. Let's go back and talk about some good stuff too. Thanks for watching. I am Pops.
Yeah. Rap Circle is finally here. I know everybody been waiting